9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Warning, warning. Danger, danger. A strange world is on MeTV.
A world somehow like ours, but of incredible darkness and fear.
What is the show called?
It has been called many different names by many different cultures.
Oh, I know. It's called Lost in Space. Saturday at 8/7 Central on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Mallis, and welcome to this edition of Connect with Me, live on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on Comcast 187, 43.6. Today we're talking business. The focus will be on business today, and we're talking, no, not the city of Fresno, the city of Clovis. 436 MeTV. Don't put yourself through that pain. Don't wade through the message. Just hit option 11 as soon as your fingers can do the walking. Back in a moment. And so the focus today, of course, is on business. It is Business Tuesday, and that's what we try to focus here on Connect with Me each and every Tuesday. And no, the focus is not going to be on the city of Fresno. It will be on the city of Clovis today. And you know, I hate to say this because I might anger some people, including our two guests who may get up and walk out when I say this. But you know, when I think of Clovis, I think of Fresno. Clovis is like one city. One city. I know they're separate cities. Don't call in and say, I know Clovis is a separate city. We all know that. But, you know, Fresno, Clovis, Market, I lump everything together, even though that really is not the case. Clovis has its own identity, and I realize that. A lot of big events coming up, of course, in Clovis in the next few months. One of them takes place this month. It's the National Pole Vault Championships that takes place on July the 26th. But you know what? Between now and then, you can enjoy a big event out there each and every Friday night. It is called the Farmers Market. Let's go to the videotape and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. One of the most popular events around. This takes place in the summer, all summer long, at 4th and Pulaski, with the musicians, the people, and the fruits and veggies from all over the Central Valley, of course. They come straight from the family farms around this area. This is one of the many events sponsored by BOOT. That stands for the Business Organization of Old Town Clovis. Now, some of the other events that BOOT is involved in and promoting includes the antiques and collectible fairs, the wine and the walk, the glorious junk days. That might be my event. That could be my favorite. Black Pot Cook-Off, the North American Pole Vault Championships, which I already mentioned, and One Enchanted Evening. Now, BOOT was established back in 1988 and basically established for one reason: to help promote businesses in the tiny town of Clovis. It is a nice town as well. Live in our studio right now is Carole Lester. She is the Executive Director of BOOT, here to tell us all about BOOT and how it operates and what the goals are. And Shawn Miller, he is the Business Development Manager for the city of Clovis. Your phone call is important. 436 MeTV, option 11. Don't wait for the message. Just do it as quickly as possible, as fast as your fingers will let you hit option 11. We're back with our two guests in just a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
And we're back. Today we're talking about the city of Clovis. We're talking about BOOT. That's the organization that helps business. And business is very important. In fact, it is everything to the city of Clovis. And if you don't have business that drives the economy, you really don't have anything, right? All right. Our guests right now are Shawn Miller and Carole Lester. Hi, Carole. How are you? Good morning.
Good, John. Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you
Shawn,
for having me.
always good to see you. How are you?
Good.
All right. So let's explain what BOOT is I kind of touched on it a little bit in the monologue, but explain what it is and in detail.
First of all, it's a really cute acronym for the business organization of Old Town.
Kind of fits Old Town.
Yes,
you know,
it was developed. I mean, it was named purposely as an acronym for Boot because
Right.
of the Western theme, and essentially it's a merchants association where we have member businesses join Boot, and we have regular meetings, and we talk about the things that help build business in town, like social media. Right now, we do a lot of talking about that. And
so you do how many Facebook pages for all? You do Facebook for all these businesses and Twitter.
Well, we have like four.
Instagram.
We
and
have
all
four
that?
pages for Old Town Clovis: the Wine Walk Farmers Market, a regular one, and the Black Pot Cook-Off. And we just have one Twitter account and one Instagram account. But we
Wow.
run all of those, yes. And then we help several businesses with their social media because they're not high-tech people, and so we go on sometimes to make posts and stuff for them.
Yeah. So you basically Boot runs all the social media pages.
For our
For
our
the-
member organizations,
All right.
yes, our businesses.
How is business doing in Clovis?
That's great.
Shawn?
It's great. In the last year, we've seen quite a big pickup. People are spending money. I think people want to spend money more now than they have in 4 or 5 years. And
Why?
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is.
What turned the corner, I wonder?
I can't answer that. It just happened, and it's. I don't know if I could blame it on anything specific, but we're seeing more construction, both on residential as well as commercial buildings.
More home sales?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the housing stock is going away. It's I think if you wanted to get a really good deal on homes, I think that opportunity has passed you by. A few years ago, if you had a little bit of money saved up, you could pick up one of those foreclosures. I don't think you're going to see those for a while again.
Right. And no offense to Carol, but I need to ask you the question. How significant is Boot? I mean, if you didn't have Boot, let's say, would Clovis be as successful from a business standpoint?
No, I don't think so. Boot represents Old Town, and I've always looked at the little Clovis Old Town as another shopping district, much like a mall would be, much like Sierra Vista Mall would be in Clovis, or Fashion Fair.
Fashion Fair, or Fig Garden Village, or
Right.
something like that. Yeah.
And so she was talking about her social media, and they use that just like the mall management would use their social media at any one of those properties. But it's extremely important to the entire community because it is the center for the community. If you look at Clovis like a bicycle wheel or something like that, Old Town has always been the hub, and that's where people go, not just to shop. It's not just a shopping opportunity, but it's a way of life. It's an opportunity to see your friends, to go out there and socialize. I'll bet you anything, and I've never asked you this or talked to you about this, but I'll bet you anything. A lot of the people that come down for your Friday night farmers market come down there to just have fun, to see
Yes.
their friends, not really to shop for produce.
That's right.
and they're not all from Clovis. They come from Fresno.
Absolutely.
There's no question about it.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And so in the monologue, I kind of touched on this, we're lumping everything together, Fresno and Clovis. Does Clovis get irritated when people do that?
Generally,
do people
no.
in Clovis it doesn't bother them that much?
I don't think so. You got to remember that
They are two separate cities. They have two identities.
They do.
I mean, if you look at the city of Fresno from an economic standpoint, not doing so well. In fact, it's kind of in the tank. Well, it's a little better now. Clovis doesn't have those problems.
right.
I know it's a smaller community, and I know that, but go ahead.
It's a different culture, I think, altogether. It is one.
In what way?
A lot of ways. We're able to, in the last 20 years, we have doubled our population.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Yeah, we're at 100,000. 20 years ago, we were at 50,000. So,
Wow.
I mean, Clovis is really, really growing fast.
100,000 in Clovis.
Yeah, we're right at 100,000, but we still manage somehow to operate like a much smaller city. We can get our arms around everything that's going on. We stay ahead of these problems. It's just a culture that Clovis has had for 100 years since we were incorporated. It's just the way we do business. It's just the way we do things.
Yeah, it's amazing. Clovis and the contrast. I don't know. I've been here since 1996, and I kind of get the impression that if you live in Clovis, just leave us alone. If you live in Fresno, they're kind of looking at Clovis. They kind of give each other the evil eye in a way. But maybe that's simmered down a little bit over the course of time. But I don't know. I still get that impression. But let me talk to you, Carol, about some of these events that go on in the city of Clovis, because I touched on it in a monologue. You've got the Antique Show, you got the Wine and Walk, the Glorious Junk Days, the Black Pot Cook-Off. You also have that tremendous bike ride. We've got the video. Let's put that up on the screen and roll that videotape. Let me ask you, as we're looking at the tape of this bike ride, what's the name of the bike ride, by the way? It's the
Amgen Tour of California.
Right, and it comes through each and every year.
Well, we have to bid for it.
Okay.
And so we had it in 2009 and 2012.
It's just like the Tour de France that's going on right now. If you're not a cycling fan and you don't follow it, you might not be aware, but they change the cities, both the start and the finish line cities, every single year. It's not always the same course.
But what I was going to ask Carol is, how do these all these events wrapped into one, including the farmers market, and you can list them all, how does this help promote the city of Clovis and business?
I think in a very simple way is that when you bring people into a town, and the more people you bring in, the more they see. And we have a great little area, Old Town Clovis, where it's cute. People go, oh gosh, this is really cute. Oh, I didn't know you had antique stores. I didn't know you had an appliance store. I didn't know you had a jewelry store here. So they get to look around and they see a vibrant business community. So then they come back to shop after they've been to the event. So the more people we bring into town, the more people who get to see Old Town Clovis in its historic little quaint way, the more people who will come back and shop.
And this bike ride, it goes right through the heart of the city.
Yeah.
And it attracts, what, 100,000 people or something like that? Maybe not that much, but thousands of people.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Thousands of
I think
people.
48,000 or 42,000.
This is one of our favorite pictures right there, where the wind came up with the banner, and it flattened out, so it was perfect.
Now, what was that, Clovis Avenue?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Clovis Avenue.
Yeah.
So these events help promote the city. They help promote businesses because people come in and they say, oh, look at that. I didn't know you had that store there.
On a really good night at the farmers market, we have 5,000 people.
Really?
I don't think you can, like I tell all the people, like when we do the peach party and the fig party, I tell them, where are you going to go to get 5,000 people as an audience in a 3.5 hour period of time?
It's more people than they attract at the Grizzlies game most of the time. So I hate to say that, but it's true. Anyway, we're talking with Shawn Miller, Carole Lester from Clovis, and a lot going on. We're going to continue our program here. Hey, remember, if you want to call in and ask a question, you can ask a better question than I can most of the time. 436-MeTV, option 11. We're back in just a moment.
I'm Lou Grant. Mary asked me to do a promo for MeTV.
You want to see me, Lou?
Not now, Ted. Watch me on...
Danish donut?
I said not now, Ted. Watch me on MeTV.
You don't like me? I'll fire you.
Watch Mary Tyler Moore. I'll fire you.
MeTV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Yow.
We're talking about Old Town Clovis today and all the events that take place there and promoting business. Today the focus is on business here, 436-MeTV, option 11. And let me ask you, Shawn, what's the main reason for having so many events in Clovis? You don't see events like this in the city of Fresno, but you see them in Clovis. Why?
Once again, it goes back to, I think, Clovis's culture. In 2014, so next year, we will celebrate the 100th anniversary of our rodeo.
Yes, the rodeo, that's right.
So 100 years it'll be going on, and it's just something that we do, and it's something that we figured out how to do right. We look at it as an export. You have people that come in and drop off their money, really, and then we don't have to build roads for them, schools, houses, or anything like that. We just, it's like any other export. Take
a call here. Good morning. You're on with Shawn. Forgot your name, Shawn Miller and Carole Lester. What's your question?
I got two questions today. One question, I saw a piece of the paper about Chris Colfer, a Clovis native, or at least he attended Clovis schools. My question there was, who is Clovis' most famous native son? That's one question. My other question was, we know Madera is going to be getting that Indian casino, and I know that Clovis has that 500 club. I don't understand how Clovis can have a casino before the Indian tribes even had one, and did they get grandfathered in? What was the deal there? Is it left over from the frontier days in Clovis? Those two questions are what I've got for your guests.
I see our callers do ask better questions than I do. That's two good questions.
I think that's a great question, and it's funny that you should ask that about the card room. It's really not a casino like of when you look at Table Mountain or Chuck Chansey or something like that. There are no slot machines. It's only a card room, and
is it like Club One basically?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not. It's really not comparing apples to apples on that, and it is grandfathered in, by the way. We are only allowed one in the city of Clovis by ordinance, and so the 500 Club that had been in Old Town Clovis for so long, moved over there to Willow and Shaw and opened a bigger one, and then left their old place open as a restaurant. But we cannot ever get another card room into the city of Clovis.
So the two they go hand in hand, basically. Yeah, they do. All right. The other question the caller had was, who is Clovis's most famous person that ever came out of there?
I think that's subjective, and maybe we should do that on our Facebook page. Just ask, who's,
No, your opinion. What's your opinion?
Oh man,
Festus came out of there. Remember Festus from Gunsmoke?
Yeah, Festus lived here in his later years, and there's a statue of him in Old Town Clovis, right on Fifth or on Pulaski between 5th and 4th Street. There's the kid from Glee.
My favorite is Kurt from Glee. So,
okay,
but that's just my personal. Thing.
Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, Daryl LaMonica.
Daryl LaMonica. Yeah, who could forget him?
Right. Yeah, we have Randy Williams, who is a two-time medalist for the long jump in the Olympics. Not only lived in Clovis, but finished his career as a fireman for the city of Clovis.
By the way, Daryl LaMonica used to play for the Raiders, quarterback, and he played in Super Bowl II against Green Bay.
Right.
So we have a call here. Good morning. You're on. Connect with me. What's your question?
And to your guests, two questions on sales tax. Are you neck and neck with Fresno on sales tax? That's one question. And why can't the rodeo parade start at 10 and not at 11? I think it started at 11. I don't know, it's kind of pushing it. I'm almost sure it was at 11 this last year, but it was great. It was a great parade, one of the better ones. And those are the two questions.
Okay.
And thank you.
Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Sales tax in Clovis?
Sales tax in Clovis is neck and neck with the city of Fresno. Once in a while,
which is what, roughly speaking?
Was it 8 3/4?
Yes.
Is that what it is? I believe it's 8 3/4.
So neck and neck with Fresno, no big difference.
There's no add-on, and the cities, just for whatever it's worth, the cities only get about 0.95% of that. So they get less than 1% that goes back to the city. The rest of it goes to the state.
Another call here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question?
Yeah, I had a question. The Indart Ranch in Clovis, they John Wayne and I forget the other, Victor McClure, I think it was, used to own this ranch out there for something famous, and they had stories where they tore up the bar rooms and stuff back in the day. That was it.
I haven't heard the story about John Wayne, but Victor McLaughlin did have some connection to Clovis for a very long time. I believe that there was a ranch called the Balf Ranch that he owned for some time.
Yeah, I was out there and got to see it a couple years ago, and there's an adobe house out there, but they raise sheep and oranges and whatever else they do. But anyway, that was just something back in the day. And of course, the motorcycle guys, they one of them came to fame, Sonny Barger, but he used to be here back in the day. I don't know if that's what Clovis wants to hear, but anyway, that's the bad stuff and the good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is a funny connection with motorcycles and the city of Clovis. There is a guy that has a one-of-a-kind, world-famous flat-track motorcycle museum that is in an older residential area. He's got this very big museum built on his property, and only opens it to the public once a year for an open house. But he's got a world-class collection of flat-track motorcycles in there.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So maybe you can get him on the show here. We can talk to him.
You would love to have that guy. He's a lot of fun.
And to answer one of the questions that the second caller had,
the rodeo parade.
Right.
I knew you were going to say
it starts at 9 or 9:30. So depending on where you're located in because they've elongated the route quite a bit. So if you're in Old Town Clovis, it may not get to you until 10:30, 11, but it's
but it does start at 9
yes.
or 9:30. Okay, glad we clarified that. Hey, we still have a lot more time left here on Connect with Me, but time is running out. One more segment to go. We got to talk about the pole vault championships coming up, of course, later this month. We do have one more phone call before we go to break. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. What's your question? Quickly, you're on the air. Hi there. Hey, speak up. Turn down the sound on your TV and speak up. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You got to turn down the sound on your television. Okay, got to cut you off. Okay, remember, if you call in 436 MeTV option 11, can't hear you, you're not going to hear us. If you've got your sound up, there's going to be a delayed reaction. Back with our two guests in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Talking with Shawn Miller and Carole Lester from the city of Clovis, and Boot, of course, that's an organization that helps promote business in the city of Clovis. And I got to ask you about this pole vault event coming up on the 26th. Let's roll the videotape and take that. So this is on July 26th. Tell us a little bit about this event that helps promote the city.
Well, it started by Coach Fraley, who was with Fresno State, came to my predecessors and talked about wanting to promote track and field, and particularly the pole vault. And they decided that they wanted to try a downtown pole vault event, and it started 13 years ago. So if you've ever seen it, it's just absolutely amazing. It starts off with young kids, middle school, high school. They have to qualify throughout the valley, and Coach Fraley brings athletes from all over the world to participate, and we have a lot of gold medalists. We have some competing Olympians, and by the time the evening is over, around 10 o'clock, they're jumping at 18 feet. The pit is located right in the center of Pulaski and 4th.
Okay.
Tons of people. We get 12 to 13,000 people for this event. And it's exciting. It's thrilling for the athletes. If you talk to them, they say when they go to a field and track event and they're doing the pole vault, they're out in the middle of a field way far away from the audience. I mean, you can barely see them.
Right, but right here they're on top of them.
Yes, and they love it.
Right.
They love it.
Right.
So it's
and it goes well into the night, as you can see here on the video. And I've actually went out to one of those events one of the years, and it was quite exciting. Couldn't get that close because there were too many people. The other question I got for you is, when all these events take place, do you ever have a parking problem out there?
Yeah.
There is. People complain about that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be negative here. We're supposed to be promoting this, but do you ever have a parking problem?
Yeah, I mean, when we get 5,000 to 10,000 people in Old Town, yes, we do.
That's a great problem to have.
But it is a great problem to have.
You don't get parking tickets, though, do you, for parking illegally or something, or parking too long?
No.
Okay,
one of
good.
our solutions is
it's not Fresno,
because
it's Clovis.
Clovis is such a bike-friendly area that we have iBike Fresno. They come out. We should call them iBike Clovis. They come out and valet park for us, and so they'll get 50 to 100 bicycles at the farmers market, which is terrific. So that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And we encourage people to do that, and a lot of people walk, and people are used to parking. I mean, the farmers market's been going on.
People are used to it by now.
Yeah, it's been going on for 23 years, so they figured it out.
Yeah, I hate driving around looking for a spot. I can't find a spot, and it's frustrating. But, that's part of the deal, right? You want to go enjoy. You got to park and you got to walk.
Yeah, just like in downtown Fresno, Old Town Clovis is the same thing. Once you figure out kind of a secret, almost like a secret fishing spot.
Yeah.
When you figure out a place where you could park your car, you'll be fine from then on. And everyone's got one.
Whose idea was it to bring all these events to Clovis? A great idea. And I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't Fresno do this? Of course, this show is about Clovis, not Fresno. But whose idea was it originally? I mean, these are great events that promote the city, and they promote business, and they make people aware of what's going on in Clovis.
It started with the group of people who were in place as the redevelopment agency went in and created this parking business improvement area, and they were basically volunteer business owners. Larry Gamble, Robin Hustler, Les Asano, Kathy Osterberg and her family. So they were a tight-knit group, and they saw this as an opportunity. And eventually they created Boot as, when the volunteers basically burn out, they said, we need somebody to come in and run this thing for us.
Right.
And that's when they established Boot, and they hired an executive director.
Right. Now, you've been with Boot how long?
3 years.
3 years. And you were at the Historical Society, working there with my friend Bill Coate for a while, right?
Yeah, Bill used to come out regularly there.
Yeah, I like Bill. So let me ask you, Shawn, from a business standpoint, why would it make sense to open up a business in Clovis in this day and age, 2013? Why would it make good sense?
Well, anywhere in Clovis, if we're talking about Old Town, then it would be you get to take advantage of the pedestrian traffic that you're not going to find anywhere else. Are
there any empty spots available if someone wanted to?
It is. We look at like ongoing maybe 2%. It's very, very hard to get in, but there is a turnover.
Why?
Because people want to be there. People want to take advantage of that foot traffic. People want the customers that are handed to them.
So it's hard to get in. It's hard to get in.
Yeah, and that's funny. When we started redevelopment in the early 80s, we were looking at about a 50% occupancy rate down there. So it has really come a long way.
Wow. And so there were about, what, 200 businesses you were telling me?
Within the PBIA, right.
Okay. All right. And Boot manages how many of those? About roughly half?
About half, yes.
Okay. So how does it, you don't have to tell me money-wise, but how does it work? The business pays you to promote them? Pays Boot, and it's
they just become members. Our membership fee is $125 a year.
That's it?
Right.
Heck, even I can afford that.
And but we do get money from the city of Clovis, so they also give us quarterly payments to run and manage the.
If I owned a business in Old Town, I'd pay you $125 a year, and I would be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
On our website.
On our website, you'd promote me. You'd do everything there is to do in terms of promotion. And so that's the benefit of having a business in Clovis.
Right. And it's like a mall, like where you have representation as a group, opposed to individual businesses trying to have, getting the attention of the city or issues and problems that.
We have a couple of minutes left. Let me ask you, Shawn, a lot of times you'll see in these small towns like Sanger, I can't think of anybody else, somebody will come in like a Walmart. Would Old Town Clovis, I'm not talking about Clovis per se, I mean there's already a Walmart over, but I'm talking about Old Town. Would you ever let a Walmart come into Old Town Clovis, or a Target, or?
Well, Walmart wouldn't want to be in Old Town Clovis, and neither would Starbucks. And there's a lot of reasons why.
Because?
Well, let's talk about something. Walmart is kind of a silly notion, but but Starbucks, we get that question a lot. But they're going to want a drive-through, which is almost impossible because most of this is an area that's 120 years old, right? The buildings are built lot line to lot line, so that you don't really have the circulation that's going to be needed, for a lot of those businesses to succeed within their model. So it's not that we wouldn't allow it, and we're not Nazis, we're not going to tell them where they can and cannot go as long as it's zoned correctly.
What wouldn't you allow in Clovis that would maybe jeopardize what you already have there in terms of ambiance and being a quaint town and all that stuff?
What wouldn't we allow? Well, as long as it fits into some kind of a zoning, we would have to consider any kind of request.
Okay. Hey, before we go, Carol, you have some posters here quickly. Go ahead and tell us what these are.
This is our North American pole vaulting. That's on the 26th.
Okay.
This is our Let Us Turn Up the Beat for the farmers market. That's our
I'll take that. Yeah,
little stain. Peach Party this Friday. So this is Wawona Frozen Foods comes out and participates and hosts this. They give out samples. And all new Fig Party. The Fig Fest is not happening this year at Fresno State. They're moving it to Old Town Clovis Farmers Market.
Okay.
Pistachio Party.
All right.
This is a great event.
Okay.
And our Antique and Collectibles Fair, September 29th, and the Wine Walk, October 5th. How's that?
Hey, we got through it, and we still got 10 seconds left.
I forgot the Glorious Junk Days on October 20th. I forgot the poster.
You two are welcome back here anytime to promote the city of Clovis. We love Clovis, and we're glad you're around.
Come out Friday night.
Hey, we'll do. Shawn, I'll take the kids out there maybe.
Good.
Farmers Market. All right. Shawn Miller, Carole Lester, thank you. Back with more of Connect with Me tomorrow on MeTV Fresno. It's Becky's Cinema Day to run down all the movies for you that are out this summer. Back tomorrow. Have a good one.